Hello, all you YouTubers out there. Um, I've titled this video um, strict simply as gun control. That way, hopefully, it gets out to as many people as possible. And I don't know about changing minds, or opening eyes, but seeing as how the internet has given everyone the ability to voice an opinion, here's mine. We've been hearing a lot in the national media these days from the likes of Dianne Feinstein and Michael Bloomberg about how we regular citizens can't be trusted with um, assault weapons. Uh, by definition, um, by definition alone, they're uh, they're pushing a misnomer. Assault weapons, by definition, have to have the capability to be selective fire or fully automatic or burst fire. For those of you who are not familiar, um, these weapons are already tightly controlled by the BATF and are, for most people, extremely cost prohibitive. So the idea that these weapons are, out floating around in our streets, they're insulting your intelligence whenever they say that. Whenever they term a semi-automatic sporting rifle, whether it be of a military type design or not, whenever they deem that an assault weapon, they're insulting your intelligence. They're telling you a lie. Um, Furthermore, um, they present themselves as these courageous figureheads in the battle against gun violence. Um, let's look at the facts. Uh, Fact of the matter is, both California and New York have some of the most violent cities in the country, and there are other cities in this country that are violent as well. But the simple fact of the matter is, California and New York both have some of the strictest gun control laws in the nation, and yet it's done absolutely nothing to stop gun violence. Um, so here's the question that I pose to you, and uh, God forbid if Michael Bloomberg or Dianne Feinstein are watching this. I doubt they will. Um, I challenge you to have the courage to answer correctly whether answer honestly whether you think another gun ban in this country is going to stop the likes of someone like Adam Lanza. Um, Fact of the matter is, this has been on their agenda for over 20 years. They've been trying to take guns out of people's hands. Um, and in a perfect world, I agree that, I would love to see a world where people didn't need guns, and the ability to kill each other. However, it's not a perfect world, and oftentimes it's not a pretty place. And honestly, I think Dianne Feinstein and Michael Bloomberg, um, in the truest sense of the form, are capitalizing on the deaths of 20 children and 6 educators in an attempt to push their own personal agendas. And anyone who doesn't believe me, feel free to look up the details. Um, it's out there for you to find. Um, the media in this country, um, we feed on bad news. Um, the media, in a lot of ways, is also helping to push this. The simple fact of the matter is, while I like the law enforcement that we have in this country, and um, I applaud their efforts and respect them wholeheartedly. Um, it takes time for them to respond. They are responders. They respond to a situation that's already taking place. And because of that, they are they are often not able to stop uh, an active shooter, in the case of Adam Lanza, until his deeds have already been done. Um, you know, I'm not going to sit here and shout and scream that everybody should have a gun. I'm not going to say that all teachers should be armed. Um, I certainly applaud the teachers who have conceal and carry permits, who choose to do so. Um, and I think there should be, think some of this legislation that would prevent people from bringing weapons into these gun-free zones that have been set up for our protection and um, just prove to be killing grounds for these people bent on mass murder. You know, I urge you, even if you don't own a gun, even if you don't particularly like the thought of guns, um, you know, I urge you to think really, really hard about giving up your rights to protect yourself. It it's scary. It comes with a lot of responsibility, and you know it should be treated with the utmost respect and caution. Um, a gun is a tool that is designed to kill. That is its purpose. Um, has it been adapted for hunting and sporting applications? Sure. Um, but first and foremost, it's a tool to defend yourself, to defend your life. Um, and if it weren't, I mean, if this was such a perfect world, um, you know, where we didn't need to rely on guns to protect ourselves, um, you know, why do so many police officers carry them every day? It's their job we pay them to aid and help protect us, but first and foremost, with an attitude of um, discretion, an attitude of respect and responsibility. It's our jobs, yours and mine, first and foremost, to protect ourselves. Whether that just be conscious of your surroundings, you know, traveling with a friend, or for those of you who choose to carry a firearm. Um, you know, the beautiful thing about this country is we all have the right to an opinion. You can disagree with me if you please. If you've made the decision that you don't want guns in your home, that's fine. You as an American citizen, as an adult, you have that right to choose. And thankfully, under the Constitution of this country, if I choose to own guns in my home for the defense of my property, my family, their lives, my life, the lives of my neighbors, um, you know, that's my right to choose. And thankfully, it's a constitutional right. And the words shall not be infringed. Um, that means hampered, hindered, limited, obstructed, or otherwise messed with. Um, the word shall not be infringed means you can't touch it. It's written that way in the Constitution for a reason. And those of you that would argue, we no longer need that. We don't need access to weapons that the police and the military would use in a semi-automatic version. Let's ask the people in Katrina who did not evacuate from their homes and were privy to and witness to all the looting and violence that was going on in the streets. Let's ask them if they would have liked to have had a 38 special revolver, which is pretty unassuming by nature, or a semi-automatic handgun, or for that matter, an AR-15 rifle. Um, you know, if they're not viable tools for self-defense, then I don't think that the police should have them either. If they don't work, if they don't, tip the odds in your favor, then what's the point? Why are so many people carrying them? These are all just questions. I put them to you in hoping to provoke thought, meaningful thought. Thank you. Have a nice day.